folks, what's here? Welcome back to another Pokemon Masters video. And since Ash came into the game alongside with the new Cynthia, the new Red 3 anniversary of the game, I thought maybe, maybe a lot of new players probably would start picking the game up, or maybe some players who played the game before maybe dropped it and now picking it back up. So for those players, I thought I'd do a quick, video going over the game, just how to play the game, right? For newer and returning players. So if you are someone who already, knows the game relatively well, then not much need to watch this video. You could go watch something else. But anyways, if you guys are interested in the game Pokemon Masters EX and would like to see more, make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel, as we do quite a few Pokemon Masters videos every single day. So anyways, let's get into this. So let's start with the thing that I feel a lot of people ask a lot about this game, which is what we're looking at right now. There's so many things on the main menu, like the main place Pokemon Center that you enter in. What are all these things? What does everything do? Okay, it's all right. We go over them one by one. So starting from the top, very, very top over here. So that's, sorry, the overlay is a bit over it, but the PR thing is just a trainer level, right? It's the level of your own account, what level your account is. It doesn't really do anything much except for give you a higher stamina capacity, which is over here. That's your stamina, right? And then this plus button, you could get more stamina via gems, which I do not recommend doing almost ever, right? Unless you're just stuck in a spot where a certain event's about to end and you just really need that extra 100 more stamina to get all the rewards. And all right, but otherwise don't really recommend doing that. But anyways, yeah, so this is the stamina bar. Stamina is used to do not all but a decent amount of events in this game. Just generally things that drop a lot of rewards you need to use some stamina on. Generally, stages cost around from 10 to 30 stamina per stage, so they don't really cost that much. And then the timer on top just tells you how much time before your stamina bar fills all the way up. So you generally want to use your stamina before it fills up, because once it's filled up, you don't regen any stamina. So that's basically the stamina bar. And then moving down, this is just stuff. It's just banners that for the game to tell you, hey, what's going on? There's this event going on. There's that summon going on, right? Usually, this is not the best way to tell what events are going on. You better just go to the pages themselves, right, within the game. So that's not really relevant. So over here, there's a completion rewards here. This is just if you go through the story, right? If you go through the story and every story that you beat, you could come here and get some free gems. Gems are the currency in this game to pull for new characters, right? It's the gacha currency, premium currency of this game. You could also pay for some extra gems, which are very much worth it if you do have the extra money. If you don't, then obviously, well, you saved yourself some money at least. And then outside of that, you also have the Champion Stadium, where if you beat the Champion Stadium, you get more gems as well. We'll talk about what all those are in a bit. So if you don't know what a Champion Stadium is, don't worry. We'll get to that, right? So yeah, that's basically what that is. Moving further down, on the left side over here, on the top is a bingo board. It's just a bunch of bingo boards where there's it's kind of like a mission board, and then with more missions completed, you get certain rewards, items, and stuff. And then if you get, bingos, you get extra rewards. You'll see what the rewards are over here. There's a few that are permanent. There's a few event ones that come and go. I don't think there are any event ones up at the moment, but, there's that, right? Moving down, this is the mission menu, right, which is, well, missions. So you got 3 tabs over here. You got event missions. These are time-limited missions, right? They usually stick around for a bit longer than, a certain event is up. And then you have general missions, which are certain missions that are just general stuff in the game. You complete it once, and then you have it, and then you don't get to complete it again. These are just all one-time reward stuff. And then you have daily missions, which reset every single day at reset, right? So yeah, these are daily missions. Do these every day just to get extra 80 gems over here, which are nice, on top of some other good things like battle points, which again we'll get to in a bit. what they're for. You also get music coins, you also get skip tickets, and then some stamina refill as well over there. So again, we'll go over all those items in a bit. Then you have the gift box. This is where the game sends you free stuff. Oh, look at that. We have some free gems right now. You claim these, claim all. There's a temporary storage where it stores some things that, you know, maybe expire a bit sooner. It's just a different box to put rewards. Generally, those are from either previous event stuff that you didn't use. They exchange them into coins, so they refund you some of that stuff. Goes here. Sometimes in certain, you know, places where you get new rewards, but like your box is full, it goes in here as well sometimes. So these are the stuff that you've claimed. Anyways, so yeah, that's just where you get free stuff. That's the present box. Moving on, this is the battle point system. So this is a relatively, it's a system in of itself. So in this game, you can earn those battle points. If you saw earlier in the mission, right, you get free battle points every day over here. If you complete a sync orb area, for example, you get 10 battle points, and then every battle point adds up, and then every tier gives you different rewards. Get different stuff over here. Some of these tickets, there's 2 tickets, one called the BP Sync Pair voucher, one called a BP Sync Pair Super voucher, right? These vouchers could actually exchange you characters over here, right? A BP Super voucher over here could exchange for some of these 5-star sync pairs with legendaries, and then the regular vouchers can exchange you some other, you know, free 4-star sync pairs, which are all really good, by the way. They're all really good units. If you want any suggestions on which one to pick up, I did do a video earlier on the channel, so you could check that one out for any suggestions. But yeah, there's a certain stage that gives you the most BP awards that reset every single day. So if you do that stage every single day, you'll get BP really fast. And yeah, once you reach the top, it resets all the way back, so you get all these rewards all again, right? So it's an unending, infinite cycle of free rewards and stuff. Moving on, this is just a news page. It tells you, you know, what's going on, right? What news is happening, what events are going on, what summons are going on, if there's any bugs or fixes or updates. They tell you over here, right? And yeah, these are some notifications for, I think, your personal account, which generally doesn't have anything rarely ever. So yep, that's that section. Moving on to like this section, right? This is just a place where, you know, some sync pairs could show up, and if you click on them, they'll say, you know, they'll talk to you. It doesn't really do anything other than sometimes it has some like cool lore stuff, personality stuff, right? And plus they look pretty, especially, you know, someone like Lisa, right? So that's nice. Anyways, outside of that, we have a jukebox at the end over here with the chat dot on here. You have a music player, which you could play some cool songs. A lot of very nice songs. I love this Wally remix, for example. Very good. You can play some songs. And these songs you do have to unlock with those music coins that we've talked about earlier. We'll talk about how to exchange for them in a bit. All right, you could filter these as well. And then, yeah, here you can unlock songs. Each song costs 300 music coins, and then if you click on it, preview the song, you know which ones you want to exchange for. If you want to exchange for one, you go ahead, click it, you know, check it, which one is Kanto Gym Leader. That's pretty nice. I'll take that. All right, let's exchange that. And now I have the Kanto Gym Leader song, and you could check it in the music player, and it'll tell you it gets unlocked. You could also use these musics in battle, right? You could change the battle music for whatever stage you're in. And yeah, the thing with the event on top is just a little dialogue out here with the current event, and then it takes you to the event page and news. Doesn't really do anything much, honestly. So yeah, as for anything else special, you have the 3 sisters over here. Trissy over here, you could talk to her, brings you to the shop. There's better ways of going to the shop, unless you really like to talk to them, which, you know, no judgment. Okay, you could, if you want, sure. This brings you to the shop. This brings you to the explore menu over here. Well, it gives you some tips on exploring and stuff. If I remember correctly, I think she was able to bring you to explore menu. Oh, there it is, right? Brings you into the explore menu, which again, there's better ways of getting there. And then Trinia over here brings you to the sync pair menu, right? So yeah, the corresponding menus for each one of them, and that's all there is in the middle, right? Otherwise, just more trainers and stuff. So yeah, so the shop menu is over here. The icon that says shop on it, right? Brings you to shop. Explores in the middle. It corresponds to where the three sisters are standing. And then here's a sync pair menu, right? So, yeah. Okay, as for the bottom here, you also have a scout menu, which brings you into the sync pair scout menu. This is just basically the place where you get new characters. Not the only place. There's a lot of other ways of getting characters, but this is the way where you get mostly summable characters. There's a daily discount sum that you could do for free. It costs you absolutely nothing. Click it every single day. It's free. You get some 3-star, 4-star characters. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you get a 5-star power-up, right? You could also get stuff from, you know, pearls, which you can exchange for coins. Got some evolution materials, some level up manuals, EXP stuff. So it's a lot of items and stuff. And then again, there's different banners that are up, which, you know, generally, if you're wondering which one you want to pull for, I do videos on that. You could check out my channel. I have should you summon videos. And then, yeah, as for these, you could check out their offering rates. They're the rates of getting the units over here. For example, Cynthia, for on this banner, you have 1% chance of getting, right? And then you have a 12% chance of getting a 5-star, 20% chance of getting a 4-star, and then 68% chance of getting a 3-star over here, right, with every single pull. And yeah, that's how you check the details. There's a daily discount. These are only for paid gems only. It's just one pull that costs a third of a regular pull, right, that you could do every single day if you want. And there's a multi where you do 11 pulls for only 3k gems, which is generally the one you want to do, right, because it gets you one extra pull for the same amount of gems as if you would do 10 singles, right? So a single sync pair scout only gives you one, costs 300 gems, 3,000 for 11, right? You do the math there. The 3,000 for 11 is better than 300 for 1, right? On top of that, you could check out their sync move animation over here. If you click this, it does a sync move animation. I'm not going to show the whole thing. You could click to check the sync pairs details over here as well. This is the scout points. Every 100 gem you spend on this banner gives you 1 scout point. And if you hit 400, which generally is, what, 36.6k gems, you get to pick 1 unit, and you just get it guaranteed, right? It just feels bad for you that you spent that much money, or not money, but feels bad for you that you spent that many gems on the banner, so it lets you pick one for free, all right? Generally, you know, people pick for the one they're going for, the feature one, but, you know, it doesn't have to be a feature one. You could pick any unit that's available in the banner, right? Which, again, you could check out all available units in the offering rate here. So there's that. Yeah, and there's you know, nothing much else. Some banners give you certain gifts as well for doing multis on them. And then there's also, you know, tells you which song keys that you can unlock if you get the unit 6-star EX. We'll talk about 6-star EX in a bit. So yeah, that's the sync pair scout menu. As for the shop menu, let's talk about the shop menu here. You have ticket scouts, which is a place where you could pull for units for free, right? Generally, they're, you know, free 5-star units. This is a guaranteed 5-star scout. These are always going to be here. Sometimes they get updated to add new units, usually once every year, right? It gives you a free 5-star unit for 30 of these tickets. You could earn these tickets multiple ways in this game. Events give you them, certain things, you do stuff. They give these out a lot. I mean, look how many I have. I have 1,677 tickets. So that's what, 55 if I so choose, you know, to use them right now. That's 55 free 5-stars over here, and these are all, you know, some of the best units in the game, like Sonya, right, and Aaron, you know, Kimono Grimsley, all incredibly powerful. And then there's also guaranteed scouts, also all guaranteed 5-stars for certain regions. There's a Galar one, a Lola one, Kalos, Unova, Sinnoh, Hoenn, Johto, Kanto. You get the deal, right? So yeah, there's different ticket scouts. Sometimes when there's seasonals, there's also have, you know, they'll have ticket scouts for seasonals as well. Those generally you do have to pay for step ups, but anyways, that's that. Here's where you buy gems, aka where they make their money. If I'm not telling anyone how to spend their money. If you want to buy, sure, whatever. If you don't, also cool. But there's also free gems every single day. If you check here, every single day you get free 20 gems. If you go here, there's free gems every week here as well. If you want to click on that, I already claimed these, but yeah, and monthly as well. So come here every day to pick up some free gems. And again, if you want to buy them, that's up to you, right? Your prerogative, your money. get to spend it, right? And there's like bundles as well. There's different bundles you could buy. That's the story bundle that we saw earlier outside, right? The champion bundle. There's some other training bundles, whatever. There's daily stamina and gem bundles that give you daily gems, daily stamina. This one also gives you, you know, twice the amount of sync orbs per day by doing the sync orb stage. And then, yeah, this one gives you some gems, some stamina, and this one just gives you gems. And then there's like egg stuff that you could spend. We'll talk about those when we talk about eggs. So yeah, anyways, what else? We have exchange items. Here's where you exchange stuff. There's an event tab where, you know, you could exchange for stuff with usually event vouchers where, you know, you go spend stamina on these stages, you beat the stages, you get these drops, and then you can exchange these items for actually useful items like a 5-star power-up, which is very, very useful in this game. Incredibly useful. These move candy coins, very, very powerful stuff. Here's that scout ticket we were talking about, right? You could also get these scout tickets here as well. More different power-ups. Again, generally it varies in terms of what you get per event, but generally, you know, sometimes they have similar things. You get sync orbs, this and that, right? And then, yeah, you just got different ones that are up, you know, for different events, right? Again, we'll talk about, I guess, them in a bit. So here's BP. We've talked about BP already. They also have a BP exchange menu over here. Here's a monthly exchange where you could get, you know, some monthly. These reset every single month, right? Where you could get some cool stuff. I exchanged all the cool stuff this month, so you'll have to wait another 5 hours before it, you know, resets and then you get stuff. But yeah, there's generally some really nice stuff. 5-star power-ups, you know, 4-star power-ups that you should probably exchange for 1 or 2-star power-ups as well. Every month, these are the song keys that we've talked about again, and then here's some general stuff where you could exchange for example, 3-star gear. You could use these, which these you get from co-op, right? Co-op, you could get these things that you could use to exchange for 3-star gear. 3-star gear are very, very powerful. We'll talk a bit about gear in a bit once we talk about, you know, battling and team comps and all that stuff. You exchange for gear, you can exchange for free legendary Pokemon, right? All of which are very, very powerful. We'll talk about how to get these tickets as well in a bit. And yeah, I got different legendary Pokemon here. You got Mew, which you could get, I believe, from the bingo, right? And then, yeah, there's your main character, Pikachu. And then with these move candy coins that you get from events and stuff, you could change these for move candies. Move candies are also very, very valuable, among the most valuable things in this game. It raises your sync pair's move level. A lot of sync pairs, you know, once you get 2 or 3 copies, right, in this case, or move levels, it raises their move level and unlocks more different passives and skills. So these are very, very important. This one's just a general move candy you can use on any 5-star. This is only for strikers, this is only for techs, this is only for supports, right? So there's, yeah, that's pretty straightforward. And then there's some other exchanges, right? These pearls you could just basically exchange for coins. And there's other exchanges that you could check out. I'm not going to go over every single one of them. So yeah, there's that, I guess. There are some things that are just like legacy things. Like, for example, this thing doesn't really exist in the game anymore. This is just for old players to make some use out of them, so you don't have to worry about these, right? Same thing with I think there's that daily voucher thing. Yeah, same thing with stuff like this. They don't exist in the game anymore. There's no point, you know, don't worry about those, right? If you're new. So anyways, yeah, that's all we have in the shop menu. Let's go into the exploring menu. So first, if you look at the very, very top, there's single player and co-op. This game, when it first came out, it was mostly based on co-op, but they've since switched because co-op sucks and no one liked playing it back then, and people hated it. So they changed the game to mainly focus on single player instead. But there are still some co-op things you could do, although generally not very relevant. So let's first talk about single player. So you have the main story at the top, which is the main story. So there's 3 different stories. You could do the PML arc, which is the first story arc of the game. I'd suggest you maybe do that first, you know, just so you could understand what this whole game is like about in terms of like story and lore wise. Also, you get a lot of free sync pairs on here, right? There's a lot of free units that you could get in here as rewards. So go do them. A lot of them are pretty nice too, right? I mean, Nanu, for example, just got a grid. He's pretty good. You get Nanu for free over here. So yeah, I highly suggest doing these first. Plus, they're really easy. The stages are not very hard to do. Really easy, go through them. Also, you get those free gems as well, right? So you do that. And then afterwards, you have the Villain arc as well, right? The Villain arc doesn't really give you too much. They do give you some gems and then some of those guaranteed, you know, tickets for their respective regions, right? At the moment, we don't have the entire Villain arc out. We do have the entire PML arc out, though. So the first arc is a completed arc. This one's still ongoing. We have Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, and then an interlude at the moment. So we have the first 4 regions. Obviously, we're getting the next 4 regions afterwards, right? So there's that. Yeah, you don't really get any characters or units over here. It's just you get those, you get gems and then you get tickets. These are really good story though, so I highly recommend you reading them because it's good story. It's good story, right? It's pretty good story. And then you have hard mode, which I forgot to do some of these, which you could also get some extra rewards here as well. It says hard. It's not actually hard. It's super, super easy. Once you do get, you know, some of your characters leveled up and stuff, right? And then you have Legendary Adventures. These are the good stuff, right? These are the good stuff. So Legendary Adventures, you could, you know, do these stages, get these vouchers, and then you exchange these for legendary Pokemon, right? So, again, all of which are very, very powerful. And you could also get stuff where you know, can level up their star level, right? Power-ups for themselves specifically. You get more than 1 copy, so you can max them out 5 out of 5, 20 out of 20 of them. If you don't know what that means, we'll talk about it in a bit once we talk about sync pairs, right? And then most of them have pretty good stories. Some of them are kind of whatever, but most of them have pretty good stories too, so we should check them out. So at the moment, we have 1 for each region, I believe, right? Kanto, we got Giovanni and Mewtwo, which you get for free. Very, very good unit. They're all good units. And then you got Silver and Ho-Oh, Zinnia, Rayquaza, Cyrus, Palkia, Getsus, Kira, Professor Sycamore, and Xerneas. Main character in Solgaleo, and then Hop and Zamazenta over there, right? So, yeah, that's the main story part. And then moving on, we have the Champion Stadium, which is generally one of the more harder contents in the game. You know, pretty hard endgame content. So you could do Victory Road first. It teaches you a bit more about battling. If you're still, you know, confused about that, give you some pretty good rewards too. Give you some gems, give you some, you know, guaranteed 5-star tickets, and then also gives you one of these, which gives you a free. I didn't mean to click into it, but it gives you a free ticket that lets you pick for free one of these 3, right? Singsu, Red, Blue, and Leaf, all of which are pretty good units still. I mean, they came out a long time ago, but they're still generally pretty good units, right? And which you could exchange for, right? And I think the ticket summoning part, right? So it's a free Singsu, Red, Blue, or Leaf. Go for it. They're all really, really nice. If you want a recommendation on which one to pick, I think I did a video on that on the channel somewhere. You can check out that one, Victory Road video. And then there's a normal challenge, which is just a I guess a test run for people, or for newer people, right? So you could beat the normal version of the Champion Stadium and then just get a bit of a feel for it, and then that's where you get into the hard mode of the Champion Stadium, and this can get very, very hard, right? So every week it resets on, you know, Sunday resets, and it gets different, you know, well, sometimes different characters. For example, Hoenn switches from Champion Steven to Champion Wallace. Alola switches as well, right, from their Elite Fours and Champions. But generally, they stay the same for around a month, right, and then they switched into another region. For this month right now, it's Hoenn. Next month, I think it's Unova? I don't remember. But anyways, it switches every month. Every different stage has a different weakness, right? And these weaknesses do refresh every single week as well. So we'll get different weaknesses every week. Along with weaknesses, the stages also, they have different Pokemon that they use. There's different skills and passives that they use. There's different weakness, like not like type weaknesses, but like there's other weaknesses that they have. There's other strengths they have, right? So they're generally pretty hard. You could check out the tips part in terms of, you know, finding out what they're weak to, what they're trying to, like, you know, do to you or whatever. All right, there's this thing down here, special parameters. So yeah, 4 rounds of the Elite Four, right? And then every round gives you a different buff or nerf sometimes. Some of these are nerfs, some of these are buffs for you and the opponent, right? And then yeah, so once you do it a few times, you should be able to get a medal, right? By completing a champion stadium stage with one of each type. So when you're doing it the first few times, make sure you try to do it with different types so you get all the types. You can't get them all in 1 week, but you could do it in 2 weeks, right? And then after that, you do unlock Master Mode, which is a one of the harder modes in the game. The highest amount of points you could get to is 2k over here. Every single one of these buffs you pick up for the opponent, like, for example, sync countdown on the opponents, give them more attack, make it so you can't status them, give them more, defenses, HP, make it so you cut your own healing, cut your own MP, cut your own HP, cut your own move gauge, all that stuff. Those are all things that you could give advantage to your opponent, and then the more points you give them, the better rewards you get, right? This is the total. Each stage, the max you could do at the moment is 2k points. Maxes out at a total of 10k points of rewards. You don't really have to go for 10k if you're not up for it yet. I'd say the most useful rewards for free-to-play players generally sort of end at, like, maybe around here, right? The rest are nice, but, like, even these are, like, kind of overkill. I'd say, like the most useful rewards generally end around, like, 3.9k points. But again, as your units evolve, get stronger, these will, you could get better points on these, right? And you have Hall of Fame, which is the Hall of Fame of the units that you used in your last champion game. This is the thing I was talking about. All 18 types you have to use it once before you unlock Master Mode, where you get the other cool rewards. You also get rewards without Master Mode as well, right? You get first clear rewards, which are really, really nice as well. Champion Spears, these are the things you need to make your characters EX. And then also 5-star power-up tickets, which you can exchange for 5-star power-ups, which is also one of the things that you need to make your characters EX. So yeah, you could reset right after you beat the stage once for the week, once you unlock Master Mode. So there's that as well. So that's Champion Stadium Master Mode. Unfortunately, we have to talk about that a bit early. It's just that we're just going in order from top to bottom, right? Just to not confuse people. Alright, moving on, we got events over here. Events are limited time events. They go away, every now and then, right? So we got a daily battle point challenge. This is like this is where you generally get your BP. These refresh every single day, so you got to do these every single day to get not only BP but also scout tickets for these, certain regions. You get, some pretty good rewards here, 60 BP, all that stuff for the hardest ones. These stages only have certain units that get boosted, right? So some units don't get boosted. So some units are much weaker. For example, today it's Johto, so Johto units are more effective here, right? So there are a lot of events that do that. There's story events, special events. There's like extreme battle events, which are harder events, right? These are generally pretty standard, right? And then you got special sync pair events where you can get free units. Over here you got Blue Arcanine, Giovanni Persian, Missing Psyduck as free units right now. That's up, so there's that. Again, there's story events here and there. There's this special anime crossover Ash event. Again, events will come and go. They're all different, so no point going over the ones that are only up right now. So moving on, we have the Battle Villa. This isn't available right now. These generally come once, I think, a month or once every other month, right? You could check out a Battle Villa guide on my channel. It's basically, there's 30 floors you have to complete, right? It's like a dungeon crawling mode or whatever, except like after every single battle, your HP that you lost in the previous battle or MP that you lost in previous battle don't reset, and you only have a certain set of units that you could use, right? And yeah, that's the Battle Villa. Legendary Arena is just big fights against boss legendary Pokemon, which again, not available at the moment. There's stuff like Moltres, Regirock, those kind of opponents that you have to fight. Generally, they're relatively hard for newer players, right? So they also give rewards and stuff as well. And then you have the training area, which is the place you should be hitting first if you are a newer player, so you can level up your sync pairs that you get, right? After you get some more sync pairs from the story first, right? Which are, again, all free. I don't think you spend stamina in the story either, right? So these are the things that actually do cost you stamina. Outside of the events, these cost you stamina that you know, you need to get resources to level up your characters. The first one is level up drills. These give you level up manuals, which are the things. Oh, also these stages have a chance to drop eggs, except they don't drop when like egg events are up. There's like special egg events for that drop like limited time egg Pokemon, and then these just drop like general pool egg mons, right? So there's a chance to drop eggs. We'll talk about eggs in a bit, but yeah, at the moment, these are what give you EXP. These are the EXP bucks. You use these to level up, right? Use these to level up. And then Caplock Arena, these are items, right? There's different levels of these, right? Different stages over here. Gives you different Caplock items. Different Caplock items are used for different level cap stages. So every single unit, when you first get them, well, except for Eggmons, are level capped at a certain level cap. So I think it's the first cap is like level 100. So if you want to get them over level 100, you have to use these level cap items to break their cap, so you could keep on leveling them all the way up to right now the highest is 150, although 150 specifically is a different way of getting level caps. We could, yeah, we talked about that in the Trainer Lounge video. If you want to check that, you could check that, right? So yeah, there's different ones for strikers, techs, and supports. That's the 3 main roles in this game for your sync pairs. So get the corresponding ones to whichever sync pair that you're trying to level up. And then there's also another Caplock Arena. These are for higher levels, right? Level 120, level 130, where you'll need different Caplock items for different types. For example, the first one is for grass, normal, and dark. This one is for poison, fairy, and bug. You get these items that again are also Caplock, level Caplock items, right? For their specific types. So there's that as well. Moving on, theme skill arenas. These give you theme skill orbs. These are all general for every single unit. They use the same orbs that you, well, use on your sync pairs to level up their theme skills. Again, we'll talk about what theme skills are in a bit. These are sync orb arenas. These cost you no stamina. You go do them every single day. It's free sync orbs. You need sync orbs to, you know, unlock nodes on your sync grids, which makes your units more powerful. And then at the end here is evolution, you know, material arena, which these reset every single day as well. These are things that you use to level or to evolve your Pokemon, or you could sell them for money. They sell for a decent bit of money. So do these every day, even just for the money, right? So again, these also reset every single day, just like the sync orb arenas. So yeah, this is the first force, or actually not even first force. This is the place where generally you get stuff to level up your characters. There's also exchanges that you can get from the events that could get you some stuff as well, but that's the principal place where you get these. Moving on, you got sync pair stories. These are just cool, short little stories that you could, you know, you could go in and experience with your Pokemon. This is also the place where you could evolve your Pokemon once you have the materials. Once you use the materials, and then you could do a short story, battle with the Pokemon, and then it evolves them, right? Basically, for example, Brawley over here has the Makuhita, right? You could evolve Makuhita over here into Hariyama. Not every character's Pokemon evolves. Some don't. Some come out at their, well, at least most actually, come out at their final stage of their evolution. So yeah, you also get some free gems here as well. So yeah, you can only unlock them once you get the corresponding character, right? So yeah, moving on to co-op, you have main story co-op. These are again main story stuff. You get first clear rewards for like gems. You also get items over here for your gear, right? You get some low level gear that you could exchange for more items to level up your gear. So yeah, this is where you get stuff to level up your gear. And then there's a few options you could do. You could create your own team, which is you create 3 teams yourself, and then you go in with your own teams. You can't use duplicate units, right? So you can't just have 3 teams with the same units. It has to be different. So yeah, you have your own teams in there, go in and then beat them up. So it's not like really co-op. It's like a fake co-op. Or you could quick connect, which, you know, the game just pairs you up with someone. And then you have connect with friends, which you could, you know, have a party and then invite friends in there. There's a party code, let them have it, and then they'll come in and join, right? Or you could just invite them from the list over here, right, as well. That's also an option. So that code on top, just give them to them, and then they could join. All right. So yeah, that's the main story co-op. You also have the EX Plaza. Here's where you could get 2-star gear and some other gear materials. Right, again, 3-star gear is generally the one you want to go for, but if you're starting out, maybe you could pick up some 2-star gear. I wouldn't spend too much resources on them though, because 3-star gears are just better. Even if the 3-star gear isn't like the exact same type, they're still better, right? They just buff better stats. And yeah, here's the party number search if you're trying to join someone else's party, right? So there's also that. So yeah, these are the EX Plazas. Here's events. Sometimes they'll have event co-ops. Doesn't happen too often, but sometimes it's 3-star gear events. You could do some co-op. Paul Masters Day, there's like a co-op, right? And there's other event stages here and there. Moving on, next we got the sync pair menu. So starting from this one, you have edit team, which edits your team, right? So if you look at the edit team menu, there's a lot of different things. First of all, there's a lot of preset teams. There's 30 preset teams that you could set, just so you don't have to switch your team every single time. For example, I have a few preset teams for like different events. This is what for one of the events that's going on right now. That's the Ash event. So every time I do the Ash event, there's a daily battle I have to do, right? Just throw this team in, boom, we're good, right? And yeah, that's the edit team function. You click on them, you could change characters over here, right? This is your character. There's the filter. You could filter by how many stars, right? Filter by type, filter by role, strike, tech, or support. As for characters themselves, there's generally three roles in this game: strikers, techs, and supports. Strikers have physical or special strikers. The actual line between the 3 roles are kind of muddied right now, because there are, for example, strikers that support, there are supports that do damage, there are techs that do like everything, right? So the roles don't matter that much in the sense of what they actually do, but the roles do matter in terms of their sync if you do EX a character, right? We'll talk about that in a bit. But so yeah, this is a sync per menu. For example, Eevee over here, Leafing Eevee, is a support, right? So she's here to help your team mainly. This is actually not a good example of support. Let's go for, let's see, her, I guess, right? So generally supports will have moves that buff your team's stats or whatever. For example, over here you have X special attack all, which raises the special attack of your team by 2, right? So there's that. And over here is her stats at the moment. Mine's at level 140 right now. This is how many copies you have. Again, 1 out of 5 versus 2 out of 5. I keep on clicking on that, I'm sorry. 1 out of 5 versus 2 out of 5 versus 3 out of 5 are different. They unlock different levels of your sync grid. The more levels of your sync grid is unlocked, the more passives and power-ups that you could pick up for your certain character. We'll talk about sync grids in a second. Here's if you want to switch costumes. If you have your character EX, you could switch looks over here, right? For example, my Sabrina is EX, so there's a different look for her. There's her EX look and her regular look. So this, all right, let's check that out over here. This is, now she's in her EX outfit look, all right? You could play her voice lines over here. You could spin her around for fun. I don't know, whatever. And then there's different poses you could put her in. You could hide the thing if you want to take a screenshot or whatever. And yeah, as for sync pair itself, they have a weakness, only one weakness, right? This game only has one weakness, right? There's no resistances either in this game. So yeah, for example, she's psychic, she's weak to bug, not weak to anything. She's not weak to dark, not weak to ghost, she's weak to bug, all right? This specific unit. And then she has Chingling, obviously. These are her stats, and these are her moves. Confusion, every unit at least has like 1 attacking move, and then there's at least 1 trainer move as well, right? She's a support, she has 3 and only 1 attacking move. And then over here are her passives, right? These passives do different things, different conditions to trigger. There's lucky skills as well, which is a extra passive that you could add on to your sync pair. You generally get these from the Battle Villa. There's also other ways to get them. Legendary Gauntlet, for example, that's an event that comes every once so often. There's also Blissful Bonanza, which is an event where you could also get more lucky skills that you could roll onto your characters. These are the theme skills. It just gives you some like extra stat buffs if you have 2 or more of the sync pair that share whichever theme skill, right? If you have 2 Kanto units on here, that means, you know, buffs the maximum HP of your team by 13. Again, this is what you use those theme skill orbs for to level up. There's expedition skills that you could use on expeditions in the Trainer Lodge, which I did many Trainer Lodge videos already. You guys could go check those out if you want more details on that. So that's basically a sync pair's basic menu, right? And yeah, you could come in here and then pick which units you want to form a team. This is not a really good team. This is not an example of a good team, by the way. This is just for a specific event. They have like extra multipliers for that one. But anyways, I'll do another updated team building guide later, so stay tuned for that, I guess. So yeah, you could filter by roles, you could filter by theme skills, right? There's region, type, trainer group, fashion, and other, you know, theme skills. You could filter by known moves if you want physical units, special units, units that have status moves, move types. Type is very different from move type, right? The type of the character is what type their sync move is, right? Oh yeah, I forgot the most important one. The thing in the middle is called the sync move. It unlocks after every 9 turns. 9 moves are used on your team, which if you're using 3 moves a turn, because you have 3 units on your team, generally after 3 turns you get to use a sync move. They do different things. For Eevee specifically, it buffs stuff on your team. Most units just do damage on them, right? So there's that. And if you do have the character 6-star EX, there's an additional EX effect. For supports, it doubles, you know, the sync buff that you get from a sync move. After you use a sync move, your team gets a, you know, damage buff, right? 50% damage buff. And then, for example, supports give you double that, which is very, very powerful. Strikers make it so that the sync hits the entire enemy team, right? And then tax makes it so that there's he's not EX. Tax makes it so that their sync moves do 1.5 times more damage, right? So yeah, that's the sync pair menu. You can optimize, which I wouldn't really recommend, but yeah, you could check a type to optimize your team for. And here's tactics, which is important. Tactics, choose which unit on your team gets targeted first. Generally, you want your tank to get targeted first. If you look at these stats here, Leaf clearly has the best tanking stats, I think. Yeah, she does. So you want her to get tank first. And then over here on the top is the gear menu. These gears give you buffs for your team, right? Bracelets give you attack. 3 stars also give you defenses, right? Bandanas give you special attack. 3 stars also give you special defense. And then pins give you HP. 3 stars also give you speed. They are for different types, but they buff every single type. It's just that if you have a type of a specific, you know, unit on your team, it gives double the buffs, right? Or the full buffs, rather than, you know, if it's not of the type, as you can see over here, it only gives you half the buffs, right? So there's that. That's gears. Go to gears. They're cool. You could also sort them by different metrics, right? And yeah, that's the edit team menu, right? You could also edit your co-op teams versus single player teams. They're different. You can change team names, whatever, right? And then moving on the right to this is upgrade. So you could upgrade characters. I have them all maxed out, so there's nothing too much for me to upgrade here. This one, you could level up your units. Here's where you unlock level caps. Mine are all level 140, but you could go further to 150, which again, these only you get in the Trainer Lodge, right? So again, check out the Trainer Lodge video for more details on that. You can increase potential on units. That's where all those power-ups that we saw earlier from those events come in. You could, if you give a 5-star, like if you give a 1-star unit the 1-star power-ups, 20 of them, they become 2 stars. You could give a 3-star, 20 of the 3-star power-ups, they become 4 stars. And then 5 stars if you give them 20 of them. And then you also give them 50 champion spirits, which is that thing that you get from the champion stadium. You could turn them into 6-star EXs, which they get a new outfit, they get a new look over here, right? You get more powerful move buffs on your sync moves that we've talked about earlier. Yeah, this is not, we're not really going to talk too much about battle in this video, so yeah. There's lucky skills over here. This is the sync grid. Again, lucky skills you could learn with these cookies. You do have to unlock the slot first with these scrolls, and then there's theme skills that you could upgrade. There's also like multiple upgrades, like it's like a one button upgrade everything, although my characters are all upgraded, so I can't really do much. Here's the sync grids, right? Usually characters will have their grids locked. For example, like let's see, her, right? For example, her grid is locked. You only have access to a certain amount of things, but with more copies of the unit, you'll get more. The max amount is 3, so anything after that is just extra, right? You get a like slight damage buff in all your moves. Some units have like some slight other differences. Yeah, you have 4 presets that you could use. You can switch between these presets, and yeah, you could pick up these different nodes and stuff. For example, we could go in here. You could do a select multiple, so you could select multiple at once. Every sync pair has 60 energy that you could use, right, in one grid. So, you know, make sure you pick up the nodes that are you know, affordable and good, right? So, for example, this node powers up your sync move by 5 and then costs you 60 sync orbs, first of all, and then costs 5 energy. Yeah, that's basically how it goes. You have some different passives that gives you multipliers for moves. There's different passives that give you move gauges back and stuff. There's different stat buffs, all that stuff. There's just different things, passives that you get from sync grids. So yeah, there's that, I guess. And that's most of the upgrade menu. So moving on, you have upgrade gear. Here's where you upgrade gear. You could upgrade, you know, you can level up gear, you can level cap your gear. Just like sync pairs, these things also have level caps as well. So yeah, there's that. Again, if you want to, you know, level cap them, you just add more copies of these gears. These gears are all free to get, right? And then yeah, there's these things. You cost some coins to level up. These are the things that you get from those co-op battles generally, or if you sell gears, you could get these as well. So there's that. And then you have the lab, which is your lab for eggs. You have the daycare, which is your hatched eggmons. You could pair up with these eggmons. You could pair up with any number of these eggmons, except at once you could only pair with one of the same type of Pokemon, right? So you could pair up, for example, Dratini and Goldeen, right? Those are 2 different ones, and you could pair them up at the same time. But like, for example, you can only pair up with one of these Mankeys, right? So if you're paired up with the Striker Mankey, you can't also be paired up with the Tech Mankey at the same time. You'll have to swap them, and you can swap them. And again, these units are, you could also raise, level them up, turn them from 1 stars into 5 stars, whatever you want, right? You could donate them. If your thing is too full, it gives you vouchers that you can exchange for other items in the monthly thing, right? Egg research tickets. And yeah, here's where you hatch them. You get these from stages. You put them in the incubator. Takes a while for them to hatch. Here's where those eggs passes come in. This is an accelerator pass, which makes it so that you can auto incubate, you know, eggs, and gives you an extra incubator as well, limited time. And this one makes it so that the hatch time for the eggs are cut in half, right? So if you want, those are paid. You could go for those. They're not that big of a deal, I find. But anyways, moving on, there's the lodge option over here, right? This brings you in the trainer lodge. You could interact with trainers here. There's certain different stories you could do. There's a certain amount of interaction that you get per day. You could level them up. When you interact with them, you get more friendship level EXP, and then the more friendship levels you get, the more rewards you get. At level 100, you get a free sync pair with this character. And yeah, just get a bunch of rewards. Again, I've done a really much more detailed trainer lodge video. If you want to check that out, you can go there as well. There's stories that you get from these characters. There's an expedition place where you could set up, you know, teams that AFK farm items for you that you could exchange for like other better items and stuff, right? Again, I've done a full, you know, expedition guide video as well. You could check that out. Same thing for interactions. Did an interaction guide video. There's exchanges over here. Exchange for things that help you on your expeditions and your interactions, right? There's things that you could exchange for that, you know, you get new sync pairs once you get the first sync pair at least, right? And there's other stuff. Again, I've went over that in separate videos, so you can check those out. Here's where you invite characters to the lounge. You can only have 5 in the lounge at the same time. You have to disinvite one and reinvite another character if you want to invite someone else. Doesn't reset progress and do anything. Super cool there. And then moving on to your Poryphone at the very bottom corner here. So this is your Poryphone menu. A lot of different things over here as well, as you can probably tell. Here's your player ID. Here's different medals that you can earn from events that you can put on your character icon. That's what shows up in, you know, other people's menus when they see you, right? And you could edit your favorite sync pair to put in here to display, tell you who's your favorite. Shows you your coins, how many gems you have. Shows you your PR level. Here you could change your name if you want. You could change your look, whatever. There's your adventure log, tells you which story you're on, what medals you have, how many sync pairs you have in your decks, what your collective strength is. That's literally not useful for anything other than just flexing how many units you have. You copy your ID, how many days you've logged in. It's just, you know, it's just a log thing, right? Here's your medal menu. Here's your mission menu that you can go to from here as well. Here's settings. Here's music settings, how loud you want them to be. System settings, change your nickname, change voiceover language. There's spamming notifications, push notifications. Change your game language to different languages. Display qualities, level cap pop-up, a lot of other notifications. Here's some story stuff, if you want to skip the story, how fast you want the autoplay to be. Here's some battle stuff, if you want to turn on auto mode, which makes it so the computer takes control of your team and has them battle. It's terrible, don't do it. There's accelerated auto mode, which makes it faster or whatever. Auto switch turns it into auto mode if you're AFK for a while. Battle speed, you could change different speeds. You could skip battle animations if you want, skip ally, theme skill animations, whatever. All that other stuff, HUD, I mean, you guys could read it for yourselves, right? It's been going on for a bit. Here's your decks for the sync pairs and stuff. It's just a Pokédex for like your sync pairs basically, right? So there's that. Here's your friend menu. You could add friends. You could accept friend requests and stuff. You could deny them. You could search up by their ID. Add friends. Friends don't really do anything in this game other than if you want to invite them for co-ops, which again, co-ops don't really happen too often. So nothing too much to do with friends here. Here's your bag. It tells you what items you have, right? That's your sync pair items. This is your potential items and stuff. You got your move candy coins. Here's your gear stuff. Here's your other exchange stuff, generally your events, some tickets, right? You got these things that you could feed to your Eggmons. We'll talk about that, I guess, in a bit. Forgot about those. Evolution materials, all that other stuff. Here's some other like event items that you have. These are sync orbs. How many sync orbs you have, and then their trainer lodge items as well. And what's next? Game Center is the Game Center. There's no point going into this one. I don't really care. Account. If you want to delete your account for some reason, don't do that. Like, I mean, if you really want, but like, just don't accidentally click it. You can log in with your Apple, or I mean, I'm on iOS, so Apple. I assume it would be Google if you're on Android, and also your Nintendo account. Make sure to link your account so your account doesn't get like lost if you delete the game or whatever, right? Here's some other stuff. Tristia's guide. She just tells you stuff, I guess. I haven't actually checked this one out. I have no clue. Okay, it's just a basic guide of the game. Some really basic stuff. Nothing. Yeah, it's just some guides. Here's some FAQs, frequently asked questions. I mean, you guys know what these are. Here's some tips. You could contact customer support over here. That's the end user's license agreement. Private policy about this app, data usage. You can return to the title screen if you want. Here's invitations if anyone's trying to invite you to like a co-op battle or whatever, right? So anyways, forgot to talk about the Eggmons. We'll talk about the Eggmons a bit. Most of them are not great. There are a few good ones, but if you want to check out your Eggmons, you switch over here and boom, you're on your Eggmon menu. They have their own separate menu. As you can see, you can pair up with different Pokemon at the same time. You just can't pair up with the same Pokemon, even if they're different roles. Each Eggmon has a different role. Alright, there's tech, support, striker version of them. Again, generally they're kind of whatever, but they're good extra options to throw in against events like the Legendary Gauntlet. So there's that. Again, it's not going to be a big battle guide video, but I could do a short battle just to demonstrate sort of how a regular battle goes. Maybe that's not the best demonstration for a regular battle. Let's go to like a trainer area, and let me get like a real team. Let's see. Let's do, all right, something like this, right? So you go in, cost you stamina. Oh, there are also skip tickets. If you defeated a stage without any of your sync pairs fading, you could skip the stage, right? So you don't have to do it again, like battle every time. You could just skip it and just get the rewards, right? Spend the stamina, spend the skip ticket, get the rewards. That's generally what you want to do, because generally stages that you can't skip are not very interesting ones, right? So yeah, you could change this battle speed over here. These are the theme skills activated. So you have a move gauge down here. At the beginning, you don't have 6, but you should get 6 move gauges as soon as possible. It just makes everything much, much easier. You buff stats here and there. This costs 3 gauges to use of the move gauge. As you can see at the bottom, it goes down. Move gauge goes down. You get to use a move. You can buff your stats again. Attack, whatever. You could set like rain if you want, if the unit has it. Again, well, we're not going to go over all the minute details of battle. We could do a, you know, like battle guide, I guess, to talk about them more. And I don't want to complete this because I want to spend stamina on this stage on something that I personally don't need, right? So anyways, I feel like that's most of everything in this game, right? Again, if you want more details on the Trainer Lodge, on the Battle Villa, on the Legend Arena, I've done videos on those separately, on the Championship and all that other stuff. So yeah, I won't spend too much more time here. It's almost an hour, oh my god. So yeah, that's just the basics of the game, right? That's the basics of the game. Again, I'll have more in depth. We could do an updated team building video, because the ones that I have up are a bit outdated. We do updated team building videos. We could do updated battle videos, all that stuff. But at the moment, that's everything in the game, basically, right? So yeah, that's me this one. I guess hope you all enjoyed. Let me guys think in the comments down below. Like, enjoy the video, subscribe to my channel for some more Poryphone Menu content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.